here, and I have been asked how to re-ink ink pads from Stampin' Up, and thought I had done a video, and I'm certain that I have, but it must have been just a quick tip in another video. So I thought I would do a video specifically for re-inking ink pads. Okay, so I have a couple of ink pads here that I need to have re-inked, and I have the refills here as well. First off, one of the things that I always recommend to my customers is that when you purchase a new ink pad or a new color of ink pad, that you make sure and order the re-inker along with it. That way you always know you're going to be able to re-ink the ink pad. And one re-inker is good for several different applications. So not only will you be able to re-ink your ink pad multiple times over, but there are a lot of other fun techniques that you can use that involve re-inkers as well. So it's always a good idea to get the re-inker with your ink pad. Okay, now I have these two ink pads that, as I said, I need to re-ink them, and this one you can't really tell so much, but when I stamped it earlier, the image wasn't quite as dark and rich as I expected it to be, so I know that it's getting a little bit low. So what I do is very easy and simple. I just take my re-inker, I apply it directly to the surface of the pad, and as I'm going back and forth across the pad, I'm squeezing ink into the pad. Okay, so you could see that there were some spots where the ink soaked up right away, and some spots where it didn't, and that can tell you the locations where you may need to add a bit more ink as you're going along. So you can see here I'm squeezing quite a bit more to give it more of an opportunity to sit on the surface for a second. Right there definitely has a lot of ink in it, so already I know that that spot doesn't get stamped very much. So as I'm going along, I can kind of swirl the ink pad a little bit, and I'm not squeezing the re-inker because I'm dragging some of the ink from that corner over here to the rest of the pad. Alright, so as I'm going along, I'm just kind of swirling all over the ink pad and trying to disperse the ink evenly. And as you can see, there's quite a bit along the edges, as there normally is. People are prone to stamping right in the middle of an ink pad, so usually your outer rims of the ink pad has more ink left in it. So then you can come back and add just a bit more to the middle itself, like this. And you can see that it's absorbing quickly, and that lets me know that it really needed to be re-inked. Alright, so as I'm going, I'm just going back and forth, and I'm using the tip of my re-inker to spread the ink around the surface. There's really no reason to use your bone folder or a spoon when you can just use the edge of your re-inker. Okay, now this one is done. I'll set it aside. This one you can really see that it was in need of re-inking. So you see I've got some dark spots here, but then all of this is really light. And so that tells me that, you know, as I had mentioned, most of the stamping happens in the middle of the ink pad. So here we go with our re-inker again. And I'm going to just back and forth as I did with the other. Now this is a lighter ink pad, so you're going to really be able to see where I put the ink down, which is pretty cool actually. So I'm squeezing the ink in, and this one was really in need, so you can see I need to add quite a bit more. I'm going to go back and forth the opposite direction, and the reason I'm doing this is just trying to get it good and even across the entire ink pad. Okay, now that I've done this, I'll do that little swirl thing again. I'm just making sure I'm trying to pull it from the edges a little bit and more towards the middle so that it's not pooling on the edges and it's nice and even along the entire ink pad. Okay, so this is how we're doing it. I don't need any extra supplies, any extra equipment. I'm using the tip of my refill bottle to spread it around nice and easy. Okay, just like that. And then I can go back in towards the middle and add a bit more. Okay, and I'll turn it this way again. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm dispersing the ink evenly. There we go. Pretty easy, huh? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright, and there you have it, friends. That is how you re-ink a Stampin' Up! Ink pad. I hope that this helped some of you and answered questions. And if you have any other questions or would like videos on anything, please don't hesitate to let me know. I would love to make a video for you. So, alright, friends, there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, my friends, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye for now.